playing spy games with his friends, and then Norman decides to use James as a stunt double. He then gets wet because Mandy's got a water gun. And haha, this is what deserves for being such an arsonist. Penny is watching her favourite Hollywood actor called Ryan McShinn, while Sam is also watching. Meanwhile, Norman Price is directing a ski scene at the park. He's trying to make James a stunt double, and then convinces James to go on a ramp. James then goes off on the ramp, and then he gets stuck in a tree. And keep in mind, this is all Norman Price's fault because this wouldn't have happened if James didn't listen to the brat. Anyways, why does anyone listen to Norman? Sam warns the bratty brat that he should not be a brat and he should not put anyone in danger. As if Norman's going to listen to Fireman Sam. Norman Price then decides to go on his go-kart, and you can't trust Norman around a go-kart because we'll remember what happened last time. He fell into the sea. James then bumps into some boxes, and then James is riding on his go-kart very fast, and then Fireman Sam is in the fire station when he sees James on a runaway go-kart. He decides to be to the rescue before James crashes and lands into the sea. He then grabs James while the go-kart falls into the sea. Sam warns Norman that he should have an adult supervising him with all the stunts. But Norman says that the last scene will be danger-free, as if we can really trust him. In the next scene, we see Norman acting like his true usual self. And they're all near Joe's garage. He sneaks into the garage, and then Hannah comes and convinces him to tie the prisoner. Mandy also convinces him to tie up the prisoner, and Norman does what his friends decide to tell him to do, and unfortunately he ends up tying James up in a chair. James doesn't like being tied up in a chair, but Norman then convinces him to burn for the rope. Oh look, I guess Norman just caused a fire. And now it seems like Norman just made James cause a fire. Norman has to call Fireman Sam. And of course, Sam is on his way to save the day. The firemen are going to save the day. Well, they quickly come into the garage and they put out the fire that Norman caused, and then they fix all the damage that Norman Price had just caused. The bratty brat apologizes to Fireman Sam for the disaster he just caused, but we all know sorry is not enough. Norman apologizes to James for putting him in danger 3 times. And then Sam warns him that he must have adults supervising him if he wants to make a movie. Norman has finally finished his movie, and then he decides to pretend that he's a fireman. He says that Danger is his real name, and then Dillis tells him that his middle name is Stanley. When he said Danger is his middle name, Dillis revealed that his name is Stanley.
Is he? The name's Sam. Fireman Sam.
Sam says his name, and that's how the episode ends. Let's summarize. Norman spent the episode putting James in danger 3 times. He even went as far as tying him up in a chair, which ended up going horribly wrong as he ended up nearly burning down the whole garage and convincing his friend to burn through the rope. It was only when the firemen had to put out the fire that Norman apologized for the crimes he committed, which was causing a fire and putting James in danger by tying him up in a chair. He said to Fireman Sam that he's sorry for being rude and selfish and putting James in danger, but we all know sorry isn't enough for Norman's actions. Unfortunately, Norman did not get punished for causing a fire, but his mom just called him Stanley in the end. So, for being selfish and putting James in danger 3 times, and like I always say, Norman can take a hike. Hello everybody, I hope you all enjoyed that video. Please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because it really makes the channel grow into a bigger channel. Until next time, it's gabbing about brats, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, see you later.